Well, we have some bad news for all the Taurus fans. That is a brand new truck. Had an easy first-round victory over Above and Beyond. But there is something amiss in the drive shaft, and Taurus is out of competition. Bigfoot a winner, as was Nightlife in round 1 competition. Also winning Barefoot and King Crunch. So now we're set for round 2 competition as we take a look at the other winners. Snakebite and the Carolina Crusher will advance. And here's a look at Scott Stevens in the Auto Value King Crunch, and he goes up against Fred Schaefer and Barefoot.
You know, it's kind of interesting. Schaefer comes in here. The scenario is almost like a gunfighter. You know, he's not supposed to be here. I don't think these guys want him here. Scott Stevens knows he is going to have the race of his life on his hand right now to get past that Barefoot truck. These guys don't compete against each other that often. Stevens jumped him on the light, Gary.
Oh, he got a good cut, but look at the air. Fred Schaefer way up in the air. Oh, a problem for Scott Stevens. He is upside down. That truck looks like it's really been hurt. We'll watch to see for Scott if Scott can climb out as the crew runs over there, the safety crew, his crew. They look in the cage. Look at the destruction to that Chevrolet. They're peeling the fiberglass away now. We can only wait. Well, Scott is out of the truck.
Gary, his crew chief, Tracy Smart, is an EMT. He's with him right now. Larry Hoffman, Blower Drive Service. The right people are there, but meanwhile, Barefoot's trying to work his way back. The race for the next round gets ready, but the question at hand, how bad does Scott Stevens get hurt on this?
And how bad does Scott tear up the truck? Obviously, the truck is not our concern when a driver may be injured, but it looks like he hit that rough spot over there in that left lane. That turned him sideways.
Right. It's like hooking a rut in a sprint car. You've used that before. It's exactly what happened. This camera angle should show you real good. Look at the air, the hang time Schaefer had on the left of your screen. Now he pulls back on Stevens. Stevens, bad
right
hop,
there. Yeah, he catches that rut and rolls him on over. A lot of damage.
Well, Gary, that run tore up 2 good monster trucks. Scott Stevens seems to be the worst for wear. Schaefer's going to be back in the next round. They right the Stevens truck. The crew chief's looking at it. I wonder what's going through his mind right now, Gary Lee. Check it out. Still taking care of the sponsor.
We'll check on Scott as we return to Bloomsburg. And there is the damage to the Creative fiberglass body on King Crunch. The driver is okay. He is with Army Armstrong.
Scott, first of all, you okay?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty hard tumble. You know, I've done it before, but boy, you never get used to them. And that one, it just lasted so long, and you know, it's pretty good hurt.
Do you have any idea what caused the flip? Everybody, you know, I'm not going to put any thoughts in your mind. What do you think caused it?
I have no idea. I thought it was a really good run. The truck got a little crooked, but no more crooked than it was probably done 100 times before. It just when it landed, you know, I thought it was a pretty decent race. You know, I thought Fred had a little lead on me, but you know, I didn't. And then all of a sudden, it was Katie bar the door. Everything from all I could see was dirt, and I couldn't tell from one end to the other, and all I was reaching was for kill switches.
Well, I'll tell you did a real good job. Your crew's over here waiting. They're anxious to get back to you. Thanks for stopping by and then telling us you're okay. Sorry about the bad luck.
All right, no problem. Thank you, Army.
So the crew will get together and assess the damage on the King Crunch Chevrolet as our competition continues here at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. We take a look at Snakebite, Colt Cobra, Cobra Creek, Colorado, the hometown. And there is Gary Porter out of North Carolina in the Carolina Crusher.
Gary, one of the things we're going to see the rest of the afternoon, everybody's got lane choice. I guarantee you it's going to stay away from the left lane. The lane the snake's in should be the bad lane if the drivers are right.
And Gary Porter by a fender. Well, maybe a truck length as he pulled it out in the final 100 feet. And that's the uniqueness of this racetrack, Army, the additional 100 feet past the last set of cars.
Normally,
right there's where he wins it.
Right. Normally, the last car in the second jump is the finish line. That extra 100 feet, boy, you got to throttle up in a hurry. And, you know, I've asked the drivers, they said subconsciously they're ready to be stopping at that time. They do not want to go that other 100 feet.
Well, here's a truck that looks like the remnants from a demolition derby, and this is why it looks that way. This was in qualifying earlier. Look at this. Upside down, the cage actually collapses, and we're concerned with that arm flailing about on the left side. But here he is in round 2, Wayne against Andy.
Brass runs hard right lane. Wayne using his head, Gary.
Well, you heard him say earlier he was concerned about running that truck hard, perhaps getting upside down again with that weakened cage. So Andy Brass will advance in Bigfoot 8.
You got to remember, we just talked a moment ago about lane choice. Lane choice is determined by the quick ET. So Andy Brass still had to run hard in order to try to protect that lane for the next round.
Well, Bigfoot will go up against Barefoot. That should be interesting. And Snakebite, the fast loser, against the Carolina Crusher. And the winners of each will go to the final round. And here we have the Snakebite over there on the far right side of your screen. And he goes up against Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher. Gary, an old wily veteran.
Snakebite keeps slithering back into these eliminations. It's amazing. He's trying to make Gary Porter think. He's doing a little side job. Porter went into the line. Snakebite stopped, and he went forward, backed up. Just trying to make him think about what he's going to do. But I don't believe he's going to rattle the Crusher. Let's see.
And keep in mind that Snakebite has yet to win a round.
But he keeps coming back.
Through being a fast loser or through the wreckage of somebody else, he keeps coming back. But this time, well, he won't make it through this one as Gary Porter takes the victory in the Chevrolet, the Carolina Crusher. So the Snakebite, well, they have devenomized the Snakebite today, and he'll go to the paddock area.
The optimum word there was today. He'll be back, I'll guarantee you.
So Gary Porter will find himself in the championship shootout as a great crowd is on hand. A lot of sunshine here in the hills of north central Pennsylvania, and they're cheering for this guy right here, Andy Brass in Bigfoot 8 out of St. Louis, Missouri. And look who he's going up against. Barefoot Fred Schaefer, the last truck, the 13th truck to arrive today, and he has a shot at the finals.
The bottom of the Barefoot sign on the truck, it said racer, and that's exactly what Fred Schaefer is. He came in here, he's going to run whoever he has to run, and I'm going to be upfront about this thing. Fred Schaefer does not like the Bigfoot guys one bit.
Schaefer has the advantage headed to the second set of cars. Look at this. The Chevrolet takes the win over the Ford of Bigfoot. Well, the Chevy fans are happy as Barefoot Fred Schaefer beats out the Bigfoot 8 of Andy Brass.
Watch how soft Barefoot lands. Not a lot of bounce. Look at this. He absorbs the impact. That's why that truck goes so quick.
And look what lane he was in. The right lane, Bigfoot the left lane. Here's the winner with Army.
This is the guy that's always wanted to race this way. When I say this way, I mean, look, let's let the cards go where they may. Fred, this is exactly, if you had to write a script, this is the way you'd write it, isn't it?
This is the race, and we got Gary Porter out there with Carolina Crusher. He is a tough customer to come, and it's going to be a real good finish, I think.
You have lane choice. I need to ask where you're going to go.
Oh, I'm going to stay in that lane. I think we got a pretty good lane right there.
What happens 10 feet off the line? A while ago, it looked to me like you almost short shifted the truck or something. You rolled, and then 10 feet out, it went like a rocket.
I think it's starting to hook a little bit better. I think the dirt's a little loose on the starting line, and then those tires are really digging in about 10 feet out. So hopefully we can get that starting line cleaned off a little bit by doing some burnouts and go for it.
Well, the bow tie brigade will love the finals because it will be Chevy against Chevy coming up next.